Good morning. I thought it might be easiest if I make a video. So this is the MySocLab, and I know that everyone is familiar with it and that you've used it, but there's so much here that I thought maybe doing a very quick video about everything that's in here would be most beneficial instead of having you kind of go and play around. This is sometimes easiest. So when we first go into MySocLab, this is an Intro to Sociology course, and the example book that's being used is Michonis. And the first thing that you see on the home page is telling students how to get started. Also located on the home page is going to be your fully interactive e-text, which is linked to all the media assignments and all the documents within the lab. And you can also listen to the text while you read or just listen independently. So if you have commuter students who let's say are driving a lot and or on the bus, they can go ahead and they can not only read, but they can also listen to their e-text when they have time. This is also very nice because it makes it fully ADA compliant. So this is what we see on the home page, and we can go into the ebook in just a second. The next tab you see down is exactly what it says. It's going to be the e-text book where it says that you can read or you can listen. If I open the ebook, this is what it's going to look like. And you can see here that it has a lot of the same features that we saw in Revel. So they have a full glossary, an author index subject, they have all the parts of the textbook. They can even bookmark things, they can take notes. So in this case there were notes that were taken on page 4. You can see that you have the same type of highlighting where in this case someone went through and highlighted in blue. You can also go through and create tabs where this says instructor note. And if you double click there, you can see here that if you're an instructor and you want to put a note in there for your students, that you can definitely do that. They can also actually go through and they can print out any notes that have been taken. And if I am a student, I can even go through and I can just highlight whatever I would like to. This is not as fully immersive as Revel, but it definitely is immersive. Your chapter audio is up here, so if you'd like to listen while you read. And as we scroll down, students will go ahead and they'll see like these little areas where they can watch the video that is associated with that particular area in MySocLab. They can also go through, and if they scroll over a bolded word, it will define the terms for them. Up here is where you turn the pages. And as you can see as I scroll down, I have currently pretty much a one-page view. I can also turn it into a two-page view if I wish. And anything that is related to the text will go ahead and it'll highlight within the book and they can go read it. So for this example, it has a MySocLab document, The Promise by C. Wright Mills, and I can click on that and it will bring up that particular document. Alright, the next thing I wanted to show you within MySocLab is you have a fully interactive course calendar in which students can go and they can actually see due dates that are coming up. You'll see that the red alarm clock are items that are past due, the blue alarm clock would be items that are due, items that were submitted, and it'll give them a check mark for items that they've completed so they know that that's been done. You can also see that over here normally they would actually have a scrolling list of things that are coming up. Course content is exactly what it says. Pretty much every single assignment that they can go view within the entire course. So if they have things they want to go do that, let's say you didn't assign, that are extra, they can go through here hypothetically. They can open chapter 3 and see everything that has been done for chapter 3. They can also see whether or not that's been assigned. Social Explorer is a favorite among all my professors. Social Explorer is basically an interactive tool in which they can go and look at new statistics and demographics throughout the country. It's been backed by not only the Huffington Post but also the New York Times. And there are Social Explorer projects for every single chapter that they run through. And in this particular instance, I have a lot of professors, they go through, and this is the only feature within the lab that they really use. But you can see that everything is new, it's going to be up to date, and is continuously updated depending upon the new census data that comes out. Alright, next, brand new video series. So when we go into the new video series, it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot there, but you can see that they always get sort of a big picture of what it is that's being discussed within sociology. They get what's called a whiteboard drawing that explains, a real-life example of sociology in the workplace, sociology in focus, inequalities, and thinking like a sociologist, which relates it back to sort of the scientific aspect. And everything kind of has a uniform quality about it, so you can even go and you can assign perhaps all 6 videos per chapter and see whether or not they've watched those, how long they watched them for, etc. I think the whiteboard drawings are particularly helpful. So if I go under culture, we can see as let me put the closed captioning on.
Values and beliefs vary from culture to culture and change over time. While there are several elements of culture, including symbols, language, and norms, values and beliefs are particularly important to examine because they often define a society and communicate to others what that society is about.
You can basically get an example of that. Okay, next up is the piece everyone was asking for. So these are the auto-grade writing assignments. Right now, you can see that these are the ones that we have currently, but this list will be growing as time goes on. So right now, if we go into the writing assignment for culture, from a professor's perspective, you can see at the top the due date. You'll be able to see how many papers have been turned in, how many you have left to grade. Normally, you would see this list of student names here. You would see the auto score, the grade, and you will be able to adjust that. So here we have the details, meaning that how many drafts are they allowed to submit? When is the due date? Do you want to see it run through, turn it in? Would you like to see peer review? Down here is the actual prompt itself. You can upload any additional instructions that you would like to include. You can also upload any additional resources, sample documents. You can create a checklist for them. You can go and view the rubric that's associated with it. So in this particular case, this is the rubric associated with the auto scoring. And when they're done, you'll actually be able to see the auto score assignment. If you would like to manually adjust that or change it, you're more than welcome to do so. You're also more than welcome to create instructor graded writing assignments. Your student resources are next. Probably one of the coolest things that's in here is I really like not only the flashcards, but the independent film series. So this is going to be documentary films up to 90 minutes long that are real films that have been done recently that you can use not only within the classroom, but if you'd like to, you can go ahead and you can assign outside the classroom for them to watch. A full grade book that will direct link to D2L for the fall. This means your grades will auto transfer. So for example, we would go into chapter 3 culture. If you had any assignments within the culture chapter, we can actually put those and have them direct flow into your actual Blackboard gradebook. Obviously there are no students in here, so right now I'm not seeing anything for grades. Your instructor tools are next. This allows you to assign your content, manage your calendars, your gradebook. Then one thing I did hear that you asked for were reports. We have 3 and 4 different types of reporting abilities. You can search by student. You can actually search by activity, see how the class is doing a whole. By study plan, meaning by chapter or module. And you can even go through question analysis to see how they're doing on particular types of questions. Also down here we have My Test. My Test allows you to create a full online test that will fully direct integrate into Blackboard for fall. Your course resources, these are your basic instructor resources, your multimedia library, any resources that help you prepare for class, PowerPoints, etc. And at the very bottom, you would definitely see your course roster. Please keep in mind that anything that you see over here on the left can be fully modified and rearranged by using the Modify button at the very top left. And then whatever you currently have that's on your screen on the right, oops, let me close out of that, would be modified by this button over here. Okay, so that was just a quick sort of overview of MySocLab, and I wanted to thank you so much.